Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Erin Brown, and you are now listening to Resilience in Action, the podcast. Awesome. So, what's going on, everyone? I'm Erin Brown, and you are listening to Resilience in Action, the podcast. And I'm here with my guy, Sylvester Jenkins, author, speaker, the bounce back expert. But I'm gonna let him take the reins on this one and give us a little bit more about himself. Sylvester, tell us about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Sylvester Jenkins III, the bounce back expert. What I do, I help millennial managers overcome burnout and become resilient leaders that triumph and succeed in life by helping them to turn their stress into success and their obstacles into opportunities. So that's a little bit about what I do.
Stress into success and obstacles into opportunities. Wow. Okay. So let's start there. What inspired you to want to take this journey on to and to helping millennials?
Absolutely. So what better way or to just be of service than to help those who are going through hard times, adversity, and suffering from a lot of things that they might be dealing with eternally. There's somebody that's grown through it. So I know a lot of experiences that I had over the years have been beneficial for a lot of people that I've encountered over the time. And, during my time in the military, I worked with a lot of millennial managers. So I've noticed I've been able to share my story with them in order to help them overcome anything they faced in their life.
Awesome. Okay, so you said that you served in the military, right? First and foremost, thank you for your service.
Definitely
Right?
appreciate your
I
support.
gotta say that, gotta announce that. How long did you serve for?
I served for 21 years. I just recently retired back in 2020, as a matter of fact.
Congratulations on that, 21 years. So I know you've seen your share of obstacles and stresses, and how did you turn some of those obstacles and stresses that you faced in the military? How did you turn that into success and opportunities?
Yes, absolutely. So for me, it was all about your perception, because your perception affects your performance. And one of the main things I did was PIP, put things in perspective. That's what I did. So a lot of things that I noticed was that whenever I endured any kind of storm, I reflected on the situation. I recognized some of the things that could have been done better, and I released all the tragedies and hardships that I went through because I recognized and took ownership.
Oh, taking ownership. Let's go there. Let's go deep into that, because I feel like resilience comes from, the level of being able to take ownership and to be able to check yourself when you need to be checked. So let's go there. Let's taking ownership. What does that mean to you?
So taking ownership is self-awareness. It's really like I had a in-depth conversation with myself, honestly. I asked myself two questions. I said, you're trying to be a great husband, you're trying to be a great father, but who are you for yourself? I also asked myself, what opportunities have you found that will take care of you and your family for the rest of your life? So when I did these things to myself, I noticed that it was a boost of self-confidence, a boost of self-esteem, and it propelled me or accelerated me to just want to dive in deeper to figure out who I was. So I think when you figure out who you are, you'll be able to help everybody else. It's just like when you're on an airplane. You know how they give you all the instructions on what you need to do, and they tell you don your mask before you help anybody else put on their mask. So
Absolutely.
that's the best way in order to be not only resilient, but to be of assistance to other people.
Absolutely. There's a saying, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
So yeah, absolutely. And that ties into like a self-care and a self improvement. Let's go there a little bit. Let's talk about, do you have a self-care, like a routine or something that you do that make sure your cup is full?
Absolutely. So I think routines are the best way to invest in yourself, healthy routines. And I have something that I call similar to the canteens. I call it the 4 canteens of life. And when you find yourself out of alignment, you want to use these 4 canteens in order to get the back stable to where you are. And they consist of a mental canteen, a physical canteen, a social canteen, and a spiritual canteen. And so, you know, your mental health, everything starts with the mind first. So you want to make sure you're pouring positive things into your mind. You want to make sure that you're looking at things that are not going to put you in positions that will cause you to stir up any kind of triggers. And then you want to make sure that you always or giving yourself self-encouragement, because we know self-doubt, fear, perfectionism, all these enemies come into play whenever it comes to your mind. So you want to try to prevent these by having like major words of affirmation. So the mental is one of the biggest points. And then you also have the physical. Now I work out. So it doesn't have to be anything like going to the gym, but a nice walk can cause you to like digress from a lot of stress that you might have been dealing with. Just take the opportunity to do yoga, Zumba, whatever it might be. In a physical sense. Only 30 minutes of your day. You got 24 hours in a day. Take 30 minutes to invest in yourself. And then the social canteen. We all need that sense of connection. Us as humans, we got to connect to people in some kind of way. Those people that we can actually trust, and that we can actually, you know, just release all the stress that we're dealing with. So, you know, it might be your mother, father, sister, brother, your spouse, whoever it might be that you truly trust, that you can really talk to on a common basis, can help you in that social canteen. And then also that spiritual canteen. Now, I'm a man of faith, so I make sure I continue to, you know, do devotional, read the Bible, go to church, do things like that. But for those people who might not be, you know, in that sense, you still have meditation, you still have yoga, you still got other things that you can take in order to fill up that spiritual canteen. So that's my routine, and I do this on a daily basis.
Awesome. So you make sure you hit each one of those every single day.
I make sure I hit each one of those every day. And if I don't hit all 4, I at least hit 2 out of the 4. And the main one you always want to hit is the mental canteen.
I believe that's everything starts with your mind. Everything starts with a decision. Everything starts with a belief. And if you are we feed our bodies, you know, for them to operate at a high level. Right. But a lot of people forget to feed their mind. Right. If they do, and if they are feeding their mind, they're feeding it, you know, toxic content and, you know, stuff that's just not really good for us mentally. So I 110% agree with that. That mental being like one of your top priorities. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So, what failures have you faced in the past 2 years that really, really took you back a step? That's
a great question. The failures that I faced in roughly about the past 2 years that put me in that position was, when I was deployed. I was deployed. Matter of fact, that was like 3 years ago, but it was 2019 I was deployed. And I had hit rock bottom. I totally hit rock bottom. The organization that I was in charge of the company, and we was running missions while we was out there, and we just kept on getting into multiple accidents. And you know, whenever you're in charge of an organization, you are the person overall in charge of that organization.
Absolutely.
So whatever goes on, you're the fall guy for whatever it might be. And they expected me to come up with a solution immediately and fast. You know, they move at a high up tempo in the military. So just being in that position, it caused me to just falter, because I had a lot of personal stress that I was dealing with. My mother was in the hospital. My relationship was on the rocks. My kids, they understood that I was deployed and possibly could not come back home. So it just caused me to just go into a real sunken place. And I felt like I just was a failure at life. I felt like I was a failure to the extent that I just wanted to just end it all. But I went to behavioral health. And when I went to behavioral health, I went down there and I literally kicked down the door. And I said, I need some help. It's an emergency. I don't care what you got. I just need it right now because I haven't slept in like 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
And, but they sat me down, talked to me, had a conversation with me, and then the biggest investment that I realized that I would ever make was in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did that, that's when my whole perspective changed on life. But yeah, that was one of the times where I felt like I had failed to a point because I had so many struggles in my life, in my childhood and young adult years, that it just all came back to me at that moment in time. I erupted like a volcano.
Oh man. So I'm glad that you were able to recognize that, okay, this is getting out of hand. This is out of my control. I need some help. And you were able to go find some.
Right.
So often we feel like asking for help is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically men.
Yeah.
Asking for help is a bad thing.
Right.
Because I feel like personally, we grew up, I think you and I are around the same age. So I know like young men, like growing up was like suck it up, or be a man, and don't express your emotions, like unless it's anger or like rage or something like that. And what a disservice we did to our young men who are now growing up, trying to figure out how to navigate these emotions that they were never taught how to deal with.
Right.
So I noticed that you said that you're also a mental health advocate. Let's go that way in a little bit. And can you tell me how you've helped, the people in your life feel better, feel seen, and feel valued?
Yes, absolutely. After retiring from the military, I was diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And just going through the obstacles of transitioning, becoming a civilian, I faced a lot of anxiety during that time frame because it was a whole new world for me, whole new transition, and I totally had to adapt. So in that transition of adapting, I reached out to a couple of organizations, and when they assisted me, I seen some gaps. And I seen those gaps, and I just wanted to see what I could do in order to try and help. Because when you've been down a certain path or a certain road, you're able to connect with somebody even more if you've been through that storm and was able to get through it.
Absolutely.
It's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. If I got the knowledge, I might be able to help you, but it won't resonate with you as much. But if I have that wisdom, that I actually been through the storm, that I can really relate with you with some of the things that you're going through and share my stories in order to get you through it, then, it'll be a totally different outcome. So I've been able to work with the Veterans Mental Health Association, Operation Reboot, a couple of these, just dealing with veterans in general in order to try and help them overcome the battle that they face within.
And how does that make you feel as a person, being able to plug in those holes that you saw?
Oh, it makes you feel phenomenal. I think everybody was placed on this earth to serve in some type of capacity, but to be able to actually give back to those that who sacrificed so much, and to see them like thank you so much, give you praise or just give you some type of homage just behind the things that you experienced and went through, and then also for your assistance, it's a wonderful feeling. It gave me a sense of gratitude on a whole nother basis when it comes down to all the things I experienced.
Awesome. I figured, I believe as well that we're all here for a reason to serve, serve someone, something, whatever the case may be. And I do get like validation in a sense, right, when I'm able to help someone, when I'm able to, whether it's something as small as, a compliment, walking past a perfect stranger, and nice smile, or I'm feeling those shoes, right, something that those small things, they can make a world of difference, especially coming from the mental health standpoint, because you never know where someone is in their life.
Exactly. That's why I always tell people, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. It's free. So how hard is it to just go up to somebody and do exactly like you said? I like your shoes. I like the shirt you got on. How you been doing today? I love your name. That's a pretty name, or you know what I'm saying, that's a bold name. Whatever it might be. Those simple things can lighten up somebody's life. You never know what they might have dealt with throughout the process of their life, and then also what they're going through that day, just that day alone. Like I met somebody at Sports Authority, the little shoe store, and she was at the cashier at the counter, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Man, that's a lovely name you have." And then she was like, "Why, thank you so much." And then she was like, she was like, "You're such a great customer." She was like, "Because the last person in front of you was so rude. They really, interrupted my day." And I was like, man, just that simple right there just was a highlight for her day. So, I mean, it doesn't take anything to be kind to someone.
Yeah, kindness is key. Definitely is. Especially with everything going on today. There's a lot going on in America, in the world. And you just sharing your leftover smile,
Right.
with someone can really, really change the tone of things.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So we talked about a major failure. So let's talk about one of your major successes. I'll do 3 years because I know that. So let's do 3 years. Over the past 3 years, what is something that you are super duper proud that you've accomplished?
Something that I'm super duper proud that I'm accomplished in the past 3 years is just finding me. Just finding me. I think for so many years, I forgot about who I was. I forgot about my likes, my interests. I forgot about like actually everything that I've overcome throughout that time span, because we face adversity on so many levels. Like we all been through some type of hardship, from childhood experiences, young adult experiences, breakup, hardships, loss of loved ones, all these things, you overcome them to a much level, a better level. But when you actually sit back and you reflect on those things and realize how far you come, it's just a wonderful feeling. It's just amazing. So that was the truest thing I ever did, was just find myself within these last 3 years.
And has that made life easier for you to live?
So much easier. It give you a different perspective on life. Like you've been looking through the same lens for so many years, but not actually taking the opportunity to appreciate the things that you see around you. Like I wake up in the morning and I just off the rip just have an attitude of gratitude, because I'm so thankful for another opportunity to see, just open my eyes and see today, to breathe. My first, say just wake up. I get too passionate about it.
No, I love the passion. I love the
passionate
passion because I want our listeners to hear you and hear your excitement and your enthusiasm about life, and I want it to resonate with them and make them go out there. So absolutely be excited. I want you to smile, because this video we're going on, YouTube, like
absolutely.
Yeah, share your excitement.
I realize that we're the greatest creation on this earth. We are man, woman. We are the greatest creation on this earth. No animal can ever go out here and think they can replicate what any other animal can do. A lion would never come out here and say, I can fly like an eagle. But man can. We got planes, we got rockets, we got all kinds of things. No fish would try to say that I can be walk on land, but we can go in the land. We can swim, we got submarines, we got boats, we can do all these things. And it all started with here first, in our minds. That's the power that we have as humans, that we're capable to change anything in our lives. Anything that goes on in our life, we are able to change it. Why would you not sit here and appreciate that and feel so blessed and humble behind that opportunity that you're given every day, regardless whether it's bad at that moment or not? Guess what? This too shall pass.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Listen, we've been connected for a little while,
Right,
And
absolutely.
I just want to take a second really quick and acknowledge the man that I'm talking to right now, because you are an evolved person since the last time we've spoken.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Like I feel your excitement, your enthusiasm,
Right,
your just reverence for life.
right.
Like
Yes,
it's coming through, and I love it. I love it. You getting me excited over here.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Hey, I want to be the charger to your battery.
Come on now, come with it. Come with
Let's
it.
go. I want to be the charger to your battery, the charger to your cell phone. Like if you at 2%, I want to give you that juice you need to keep going and make those calls and get the way you need to be.
See, I love it. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Hey, y'all. Listen, it is time for some action. If you are enjoying the content that you've been listening to, I need you to rate and review. That's it. That's all. Make sure you go to wherever you're listening to this podcast and rate and review it for us. We appreciate you so much. Let's get back to some resilience. All right, we talked about your failure. We've talked about some successes. What do you have planned and lined up in the future that you're hoping to achieve?
So what I have planned and lined up in the future that I hope to achieve, I got it on my shirt. So you see where I got my goals? So it's make $1 million, save $1 million, and tithe $1 million.
Okay.
That's what we do. So, you know, in the process of doing that, you come up with all these things. Like I said, I'm a personal development consultant. I'm an author, speaker, but then also I'm coming up with an online course currently to help other people to develop in life. And then also just continuing to get actively engaged as far as other organizations, possibly creating my own to make sure that people continue to know their worth and value when it comes to their life in general.
I love to see it. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. So make $1 million, save $1 million, tithe $1 million.
That's it.
Okay. In 1 year?
No, not 1 year.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I mean, maybe that's the ultimate, the goal, like to be able to do that 1 year.
So I believe in SMART goals. I believe in SMART goals. So I'm being realistic. And at the same time, I got the short-term goals and I got my long-term goals. So this is the long-term goals.
Gotcha.
But you know, any successful person, they're not smarter than you. They're not better than you. The only thing they got is a plan. They came up with a strategy in order to achieve it. This is something that I call a GPS. Like, how often have you used a GPS to get you to a destination that you've never been?
All the time.
All the time. So why we don't use that same GPS when it comes to our lifestyle and who we are? And I don't just call it like a global positioning system. I call it goals, purpose, and a strategy. Because once we know our goals and we understand our purpose and we have a strategy in order to achieve it, there's no reason why we can't reach our destination. So this will happen. It just won't happen in 1 year. So in that strategy, I got my short-term goals that's going to prepare me to where I want to be in the next 5 to 10 years.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen. Wow. GPS, goal. Purpose. What was it? Goal, purpose, and strategy. Goals, purpose. I'm writing that down. Goals, purpose, and strategy. I believe strategies and systems are that's the way to get whatever we want in life. Of course, we have to dream it, we have to believe it, we have to, make up that decision. But without putting those systems and those strategies in place,
yes,
we're gonna be lost forever.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And then some ways that you can develop your strategy is by having discipline, resilience, and consistency. Because once you with discipline, it's hard to stay motivated on some of the dreams you have, the goals and the dreams. It's hard to stay motivated because at any point in time, adversity gonna come tap you on your shoulder and say, "Hey, check this out."
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be like, damn, and it's gonna knock you down. But you
Yeah.
gotta get back up. So that discipline got to come into play. But if you think more about the why instead of the what, then it'll get you to where you want to be. It'll help you along that journey. Because when I think about most people that set goals, they think about the what. All right, I want to lose 10 pounds. Why you want to lose 10 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you want to get healthier? Is it because you just want to look sexier? Is it because you want to build your confidence? Why do you want to lose it? And I always think about when I do this, it's not for me, it's for my kids' kids. It's for their family. It's just continuing to just be somewhat of a predominant figure in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Do my share. Just that 1%. Just do that 1%. Guess what? I made a mark on this earth.
That legacy.
Yes.
That legacy. Yeah. Yes. I think legacy is something that I wish more people would strive for.
Right.
It's like a lot of people I want to be rich. All right, but why, like you said, why? Why do you want to be rich? Like, and then be honest with yourself. Is it just because you want to be able to cop the new Jordans?
Yeah.
Every time they come out, then that's cool. That's cool. Be honest with yourself, you know. But why do you want to cop the new Jordans?
Yes.
All right, then we go deeper. Why do you want to cop the new Jordans? You want to cop them because everybody else copping them? You want to cop them because you actually, is that something you're trying to build, like a Jordan collection or whatever the case may be? You know, I like to go your why, and then ask that why, and then ask that other why, right? Right? Like you go to fully understand a lot of the human mind. We have to continue to ask why.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like kids, when kids are like, you tell them to do something, they're asking why. I mean, I know when I was growing up, I didn't ask why too often. Okay, I'm gonna just put it like that. Yeah. It was like do what I say. Yep, do what I say, and that's it. Okay. Now we're in a space. We're in a time where we as parents. I'm not a parent yet, but like us older millennials, right? They're seeing how they grew up, and they're trying to change that narrative.
Right. Absolutely.
So their kids can ask why, and then I believe that why gives you a better understanding and more discipline and motivation to do whatever it is that you're being asked to do. Yeah,
you don't feel like it's done for nothing. You got the actual aspects of the purpose behind doing it.
Absolutely, and I think that is that better understanding. I think on one of my last episodes, our parents did the best that they could with what they had at the time.
Exactly. They were still learning too.
Exactly. And now it's up to us to take everything that we learn from them, good or bad, and then decide how we want to go through and how we want to parent. And then it'll be just a revolving cycle. And hopefully one day in our world, we won't have to be having these type of conversations like, nah, I ain't really asked why. Yeah. So
you hit the nail on the head.
Future. We thinking way up there. Yeah. All right. So you wake up every day with the attitude of gratitude, right? What do you do when there's times when that adversity comes and knocks you on your butt? How do you recover and how do you keep going?
So like I said before, I put things in perspective, just a whole lot. And like I said, with the goals that I have, they're written out wherever I go. So a lot of times when the adversity hit me, I just got to keep on reminding myself. I got to take the opportunity, like everything that we might endure, right? The heat rounds that we get hit with. Sometimes we just got to take a knee. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
I mean, you want to continue to keep going. It's okay to take a knee sometimes, but don't stay there. Like some people, when they get hit, they take a knee and they stay there and just figure it wasn't for me.
They lay down.
Yeah.
They lay down. Yeah.
Yeah, they play dead. They play dead. Like, no, don't just stay there. It's okay to not be okay but don't stay there, because once you stay there, you just pretty much, died in the living sense. You got to get back up. You are a true warrior. You wasn't born to be average. You was born to be a savage. You was born to be extraordinary, not ordinary. When it comes to the life that we live, every day that we get to wake up and breathe, it's a whole nother level. So why would you just sit there and just be stagnant because something came in your way that blocked you just for a period of time? You only delayed, not denied.
You're only delayed. Say that again.
You're only delayed, not denied.
I want our listeners to understand that right there is a bar. Like, I want listeners, write that down and take a screenshot of it, like take a picture of it. And I want that to be your background on your phone. Like, make that your background on your phone. Oh, that thing's dirty. Make that the background on your phone. So when we grab our phones all the time, we reach for it all the time. Yeah. And when we push that button, I want them to see that. And I want that came from Sylvester. Like, I want them to know where that came from and why they need to know that. Say it again, one more time.
Whatever you're going through, whatever experience, when adversity hits you, you're only delayed, not denied.
See, there it is. You're only delayed, not denied. That means you may need to take a step back, reassess the situation, adjust, and then move forward in another way.
Let's go.
Yes. Come on now. Come with it. I love it. All right. Do you have any piece of advice, anything else that you want to share with everyone who is listening to us right now?
My only piece of advice, man, to everybody that might be listening is to just be kind to yourself, because we're our biggest critics. Overall, in everything, we are our biggest critics. And some of the things that we have in our mind that plays out when it comes to the limited beliefs that we have, they're not factual. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And if you let that stop you from being the champion that you truly are, you're doing yourself an injustice. Walk through that, fight that battle, overcome those hurdles, and keep moving forward and keep rising.
Love to hear it. I hope y'all heard that. I know y'all did. And if you didn't, hit rewind, listen to it again. Where can we find you on social media, your website, and how can we support you?
Absolutely. So you can find me at sylvesterjenkins.com, or you can just go on any social media platform, Facebook, Instagram. I even just started a TikTok here. I'm still trying to figure that out. My kids, they were like, hey, you got to get with the new wave, Dad. Hey, everybody's on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try it out. But overall, I just started a TikTok. I'm still old school with it, man. Facebook and Instagram has been my go-to guide for social media. Hey, anybody that's out there that's listening right now, don't hesitate to DM if you want any advice, if you need any type of assistance, if you just want an ear to listen to whatever you're going through, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always open.
Yes. And we'll make sure we put Sylvester's contact information in the show notes. So one click away, that's all you'll be, is one click away from the man, the myth, the legend. All right.
The accolades.
Listen, like I said, I just wanted to acknowledge you because, I see the growth over, the past few months.
Right.
And like your destination, your journey is inspiring.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. I have one final question for you.
Okay.
It's a simple question.
Okay.
What is resilience to you? How do you define resilience?
I see resilience as being the tennis ball and not the egg. I see it as, the bounce back. the
bounce back expert. That came from a bounce back expert, y'all. Just want to let y'all know.
Like when you drop a tennis ball on the ground, it bounces right back up. But when you drop an egg on the ground, it breaks, it shatters. I always tell people to think about driving your car. The shock absorbers on your car represents resilience, right? Without those shock absorbers, whenever you hit a bump, you're gonna feel the full impact of it. But when you have those shock absorbers on it, you still hit those bumps, but the impact isn't as severe. So just make sure that when it comes to resilience, that this is a skill that anybody can learn. Let me say that again. Anybody can learn to be resilient. And it's just as important as leadership and finance. It's just as important because this is dealing with your mental health. So you really need to learn resilience. It's a key skill that'll get you through life and help you to overcome any type of adversity successfully.
Any type of adversity successfully. I love it. I love it. Sylvester, thank you so much for giving up some of your time. I know you're a busy guy. So thank you for giving up some of your time to chat with us for a little while. Let us know what you're doing and everything you have going on. And, sharing some gems and information with us. I hope you all know that the GPS is always on.
Yeah, always on.
The GPS is always on. Perfect. Yeah, Thank you so much, Sylvester.
Thank you so much for having me on your platform, Erin.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Resilience in Action, the podcast with your host, Erin Brown. And I want you to remember, resilience in action will always lead us to a greater human experience. Until next time.